of your pairs match? Here we've got a matching pair. Here we have a close, not quite matching, but almost. We have a matching pair, an ornate pair. There's a lot of bling. Would you consider your pair high, medium, or low cost? Okay, very nice. You got some quality eyeballs there, right? How many people use the quality eyeballs? So we got another quality pair here. Quality eyeball. Oh, you all use those high quality eyeballs. Quality eyeballs cost $1.40 each for each pair. Okay, 70 cents an eye. How much are we selling this for? How much are we going to make? Negative something, right? So we did not produce what it is that the customer actually wants. Did we try to translate? Is this what actually happens in the real world? Absolutely. It is very difficult, and it's one of the things that you want to do up front, and a foundation of quality is to first translate that voice of the customer. Otherwise, you are going to end up with what looks like high quality, and it's perfectly fine, but if nobody wants to buy it, it's no good, right? And how do we translate the voice of the customer correctly into a product or service that is able to be produced at a high profit? And one method that is out there is what's called quality function deployment. But quality function deployment is essentially a structured method in which the customer requirements are actually translated into appropriate technical requirements for each stage of the product development and for product production. So the QFD process is often referred to as listening to the voice of the customer. And it's So we now have the voice of the customer translated by marketing and engineering into a prototype.
Okay, very good.
Oh, you got it all set?
114.
All right.
Nose is red.
You got it.
Is it on?
Well, the time it took to produce your earrings is much better. This is what they wanted. So as the use of a visual prototype actually made a difference in the end result.
Well, it made a difference.
You're much closer, right? But I told you guys this is what they wanted. Side, here's the only group, but your eyeball's falling off.
Quality issues.
What's with the eyeballs? Well, what's going to happen when they get to the customer and all those eyeballs are off?
They have to keep the glue together.
We can't have this.
We need better raw materials.
Better raw materials. You've got the blue pipe cleaner. I was just going to say, yours was the only one that meet customer expectation. But your eyeballs are popping off. Does anybody else? Everybody else doesn't even have the right color pipe cleaner that the customer wanted. Why didn't you have the right pipe cleaner, guys? Everybody, you're supposed to use blue.
Those materials need to come at a time.
You don't have the material?
Yeah.
How come nobody said anything? You guys just built. I told you, did I not stand up here and say, this is what the customer wants? Did anybody say, hey, Professor Sacchetti, we don't have blue pipe cleaners? Did anybody think to say it?
I did.
And why didn't you say it?
But I thought like they might look similar, but not the color. The color is not more.
So you decided for us that what you were doing was okay, and the customer would just have to accept the way you wanted to make them. Ah, okay. This is good. This is good. Well, how many people would say that the guys on the production line actually feel this way? And when we tell them build this, and then we give them bad parts, they build it anyway. Si, you got those eyeballs on there yet? Get that eyeball back on there, please. What is wrong with these eyeballs?
No, it's fine.
Now it's fine? What happens when we put it in the box and ship it to the customer? Okay, and you had to just go through a rework process. How much extra time did that take? The time it took, and one of the neat things that happens when you standardize on a process is now the variation in the time that it takes to build the product is reduced. However, we also have to add in the rework time now, which you guys did not add in, for every time you had to put those eyeballs back on. And the customer's going to probably send a whole bunch back. Well, I actually did some investigation, and you know what I found? Our wonderful friends in procurement, they got us some good deals. And they bought us less expensive pins. They were a little shorter, but it's okay because they saved us money. How much money did they save us?
None.
They cost us our customer when all the eyeballs ended up off of the happy faces in the box when it got to them, right? And it cost us in rework in the factory, and nobody really understood why the eyeballs weren't staying on. Okay? But internally, do you think that the procurement people were trying to sabotage manufacturing? Do you think they did it with intent? No, they were trying to help. They were trying to save us money. But one of the problems, again, comes with not properly translating the voice of the customer. So you guys did not, nobody actually produced what the customer wanted because you three ended up with the wrong color pipe cleaners, and the fourth ended up with eyeballs that won't stay on. So what effect does faulty material actually have on production of a product even once the voice of the customer has been properly translated? The time goes up to produce it, we lose our customers, we have rework. Faulty material really hurts us from a quality perspective. So translating the voice of the customer correctly is just one step. Translating it for the from the external customer, and then our internal system, we've got procurement, and their internal customer was manufacturing, and manufacturing didn't properly translate the their information to procurement. We need the longer pins. So buying cheaper material does not always help us in lowering our costs, because in this respect, it costs in rework, it costs in lost customers. Okay, so we see here that looking at the external customer as well as the internal customers are very important in terms of making sure that we translate the voice of the customer properly.